Good morning and happy Friday. Boy, Hostel Yogi coming at you from the Hostel Villa. This is part 2 of the low back pain sequence. Feel free to join me now. If you just drop in and you can't stay, don't worry, this will be up on my YouTube channel. I invite you to take a couple of blocks. You don't have to have props for this practice, but it will be quite helpful just to have them close. And if you don't have blocks, maybe a book, a thick book that works, and a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a towel. You may use a belt, anything to give you some length. And because I travel with a travel mat, it's quite thin, and also because of the low back pain, you may choose to put extra padding down, another towel, or double down on your yoga mat. Also have a couple of small towels handy for your knees. Now don't be discouraged if you don't have any of these handy, because in the beginning I didn't have any of this, and this is usually why I teach with no props. Now I have the lovely props, so I'm going to utilize them. Also, you may choose to light some incense. I have a Tibetan singing bowl, and when I'm not playing it, it doubles as my incense burner. Just a nice aromatic smell to help you get a little deeper into the meditative state of yin. You find yourself in a comfortable seated position, gently drawing the eyes closed. We're going to focus on the back, the lower back, and a little bit in the hip flexors and quads, because they can create anterior pelvic tilt, which can put unnecessary tension on the lower back. This is where a lot of our back pain is in the world, and this is where a lot of it stems from as well, as an imbalance in the hips. Eyes are closed. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice how your breath is at this time of the day. Is it short and choppy? Or is it long and smooth? By the end of the practice, it is my hope for you that you notice your breath is long and smooth, deep and rhythmic. The smoother, the more rhythmic our breath is, the better our life experience will be. The calmer we are in our decision-making practice, the easier it is to come to a decision, and the more clarity we have for the direction we wish to go in life. Our mental state, our physical state, and our emotional state are all linked to the breath. It's not just some spiritual mumbo-jumbo. Breath has a huge impact on the way we feel and the way we perceive the world. With that in mind, you'll just pay gentle attention to your breath throughout your practice. At any point you find yourself holding the breath or not breathing in a manner that you feel is good for your body, you make minor adjustments along the way. And by the end of the practice, you'll have a beautiful, rhythmic, peaceful breath that you may take with you throughout your day if you're just beginning, or that you may take into your rest state at night if you're going to bed soon. Any time of day you can do yin yoga. If you do it in the morning, it's like your morning meditation. You wake the body up in the practice. You feel good, rejuvenated, restored. You're calm, but with a sharp mental clarity. And if you choose to do it in the middle of the day, it's like a recharge. It's better than any midday siesta. It's better than any midday nap, because you get a little rest in the process and you unwind your body from the stressors of the day. And if you choose to do yin yoga before bed, you will never rest better than after a yin yoga session. Yin yoga is a quiet and soft practice. Eyes should be closed most of the time if it's comfortable for you. Remember that you're in a safe environment, you're in a safe place. When the eyes are closed, the awareness is inside, or yin side as we say in yin yoga. And that's where the magic happens. And that's where the healing takes place. You may also choose to count your breaths during this practice. The average 10 breaths is a minute, 6 seconds per breath, 3 seconds in and 3 seconds out. You don't need to count the micro, just count 1 to 10. And you will know when a minute is up. Because these poses are held from 2 to 5 minutes, it will give you an internal stopwatch. Counting your breaths is dual nature in its effect, in the respect that it also takes us into our parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest part of the nervous system. And this is technically where the healing of the body takes place. So the longer that we stay in this part of the nervous system, the more we can heal in our 1 hour practice. While we're sitting here, because the neck is part of the back, it's part of the spine, it's in line with the back, and it does include the erector spinae muscles that run up on either side of the spine, from the tailbone all the way to the base of the cranium. These two strong stabilizing muscles are what gives us our ability to stay upright. They do a lot of the workload, keeping the back of the spine erect. So the neck is included in the back and can also contribute to different tension and different strains. So we just gently tilt our head to the right, and we're going to roll it forward. If you have any issues with your cervical spine, listen to your body, and if you have pain, at any point, make minor adjustments to get out of the pain. If you cannot get out of the pain, get out of the pose. This will hold true for every pose in practice. We're all adults, and it is up to us to listen to our bodies and be responsible for our temple. And continue to make slow, smooth, gentle circles. And if you come across a point where you have some resistance or some tension, like I do in the right side, so my left ear is down to the left shoulder, And I'm just going to pause here for a moment. Maybe I'm going to rock a little forward. I rock a little back in that spot. Now I continue on. Once your right ear comes back to your right shoulder, let's switch directions. Now going back, left ear to left shoulder. And the next time that you find your left ear at the left shoulder, we will bring the neck back to neutral. And we're going to do the same thing with the torso now. We're going to lean to the right just a little bit, and again listening to the body. Depending on where you have your back pain and how severe or intense it is, this may or may not be accessible for you. You may want to try really small circles, really slow. Any sharp shooting pain, pins and needles, these are signs that this is not right for you. Any aching, discomfort, that is something we may be able to work through. I will take this moment to remind you, if you're under the care of a medical practitioner, follow their orders, their suggestions before you try any of this. Certainly before you listen to me. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm a yogi. While I do have quite a lot of experience with the spine, I have zero medical experience, and I'm not offering medical advice. Simply the ways that I have rehabbed my spine, I offer to you. And let's rotate the other way now. Are your eyes open or your eyes closed? You feel free to close the eyes and try to look at the body from the inside and just listen to my verbal cues. If you need to look up at the screen, it's quite alright. But see what you need to see and then bring your awareness back inside. And connect the mind and the body together, and the healing seems to take place quite a lot faster. I found this particular style of yoga when I was in an immobilizer with traction following an auto accident. I broke my cervical in multiple locations, and I had paralysis on my left side. There was a time where I couldn't move a millimeter forward or backward with my cervical spine. Today I'm so very grateful for the mobility that I enjoy. And I owe part of that to Yin Yoga. part of healing is movement. My mentor, she always says that movement is medicine. Coming back to neutral. Diet is another key fundamental in healing. If you give your body the right environment and you put the right things in it, it will heal. Now we've added some gentle movement to the spine. Let's continue with a seated, modified cat and cow. Again, listening to the body. The low back may be stiff if this is early morning. I rolled straight out of bed in order to give you this practice because I too am repairing from an injury from training the other day. So let's place our hands on our knees and let's pull the body forward, inhaling and looking up. We're arching the lower back. Don't push, don't force. Just a mild bend in the beginning and feel it out. Now we're going to exhale, looking down. And we're rounding the spine now. Letting go of any tension. Perhaps you lean forward just a little. Inhaling. Arching the spine, a mild back bend. Looking up. Exhaling. Rounding the spine. Looking down. Let's do a third time. Inhale. Looking up. Exhale. Looking down. Coming back to neutral. We're going to just take a mild seated twist while we're here. Your right hand will go on your left knee. Your left hand will go behind you. And if it's available to you, you'll look over your left shoulder. Can you walk that left hand away from the body a little bit more? Walk the left hand more toward the right side and twist just a little bit more. And hold for the last few breaths here. Gently releasing the posture and unwinding the body. Come back to neutral, just for a breath here. We set up for the other side. Twisting to the right hand goes behind you, placed on the ground. The left hand is on the right knee. Looking over the right shoulder if it's available to you. Walking that right hand just a little more to the left. And twist just a little more for the final few breaths. Bringing the body back to neutral. We're going to come into a child's pose. This will be a two-step child's pose. So first, to open up the lower back, we'll come onto our knees, body over our knees. We'll come down onto the ground on your forearms. And you may either walk your hands in front of you, stretching out the back underneath the arms and the shoulders, or your arms may go down by your side, resting the shoulders and opening up the lower back even more. You may place a pillow or a block underneath your head, or your head may go on the ground. And progressive in nature, moving into another step here. Perhaps you'll use a blanket to pad your knees, especially if they go off the side of the mat, or maybe you turn lengthwise on your mat and we spread the legs wide and we go into wide leg child's pose. You may want to come up and readjust your backside for this one. I would not normally use a block, but I don't want the microphone to bounce into the ground. So it depends on how low you want to go. If this is too strong, you may place a block under your chest and then make a pillow with your hands. And gently we're going to walk ourselves back up, removing any props out of our way. Come up onto the hands and knees. Slowly spin yourselves around onto your backside. We are going to lay down here for a rebound. The rebound is an opportunity for the body to settle back to its natural state. It's like a mini shavasana for 1 minute. I typically place my right hand on my stomach, my left hand upon my heart. I feel the body move and I realize these organs, these internal organs are working so hard for us. And it puts a smile on my face. These are two organs that we don't pay any attention to until there's an issue. If you think about it, when is the last time you paid gratitude to your heart and your lungs? Or to yourself, for that matter. So maybe you take a moment now to say thank you for giving me fresh oxygen to breathe, fresh nutrients in the blood, vitality, and the energy we need during the day to complete our tasks and to show love to others. Gently bringing the awareness back to the body. Perhaps you crinkle the toes, squeeze the fingers, and let's step both feet up onto the ground. We're going to set up for a twist here, moving any props out of the way. Maybe you have a blanket or some padding close for the knees. So the first option for this twist is both feet up in the air, and you just twist to the left, dropping the stacked knees on top of each other. And the second option is we cross the right leg over the left, and we drop them to the left. And the third option is we cross the right leg over the left, and then we cross the right foot under the left calf, making a double cross. Left hand goes on the right knee, and we use that to gently let the knees toward the ground. Your right arm can go long away from the body, and if it's available to you, you look in the direction of your right arm. If this is too strong, you may place a block under the knees to raise the knees up, taking some of the twist out of the lower back. This is a spinal twist. It helps to release any tension in the back. And as a bonus, you may also feel it in your glutes, your piriformis, and your outer thigh on the right side. If your right arm is long, you may feel an opening in your chest and your shoulder. And if you're looking in the direction of your right arm, you may feel an opening in the left side of your neck. Gently releasing the posture, perhaps you place your left hand under your right knee and help it back up, assisting it. Unbind your feet and your legs. Step both feet on the ground. And take your time. Be gentle with your body. There's a tendency to feel fragile or vulnerable after these long-held poses. This is quite normal, and in fact it means you've done the pose correctly. This is why we move slow and we take a rebound after most poses. Now we set up for the other side, so perhaps you try a different variation than you did the first time, or if the first one was perfect for you, then you may use it again. Both sides of the body are not the same. One side is always tighter than the other. However you chose to place your knees, stacked or crossed, right hand will go on the left knee and use it to slowly lower yourself to the right, creating the spinal twist. Also giving a nice stretch maybe in the glutes, the piriformis, and the IT band, the outer left thigh. Left arm will go long, away from the body, opening up the chest and the shoulder. And you'll look in the direction of your left arm, if it's available to you, opening up the right side of the neck. Gently releasing the posture by placing your right hand under your left knee and helping it back to center. Unbinding your legs, stepping both feet back on the floor, and shifting the pelvis till you're straight on your mat again. Bring your left arm in. Extend your left leg. Extend your right leg. Right hand on the stomach, left hand on the heart. We enjoy a 1-minute rebound here. Gently bring the awareness back to the body. Perhaps you wiggle the toes, the fingers. We're going to step both of our legs up onto the ground. We're going to raise our feet in the air. We're going to hug our knees into the body. This will help to relieve any tension in the lower back. And let's roll to the left a little. Let's roll to the right. Back to neutral. Can you feel the tension in your lower back letting go? In yoga, the same as life, sensations will arise, uncomfortable, tense, restricting sensations. I've found if you just sit with them, I've found when I sit with them, I can watch these sensations dissolve, dissipate. And I notice when I finish, the tension in that area has lessened. The challenges in life are no different than the tensions we feel in yoga. The challenges in life many times are mental tensions. And this is a majority of the tension we find in the body, stemming from mental tension. Let's roll to the left. And let's roll to the right. Now we're going to lift our right leg, our right foot toward the sky or the ceiling, and then follows the left. And let's place our hands on the outside of our feet. If this is too intense, you'll loosen your grip on your feet, or you may even bring your knees in on top of your chest, taking out some of the additional pressure from the lower back. If you wish for more, knees will go wide and hands will be heavy on the feet. This posture shifts the pelvis and opens up or stretches the lumbar muscles in the lower back. A lot of back pain is caused by tightness in these muscles from bad posture, from sitting for long periods of time or driving, being hunched over. And while we're here, let's extend the right leg. Left knee will come to the ground. Reach a little more. And come back to neutral. Rock to the right and extend the left leg. And opening up the hamstring a little bit while we're at it. Reach a little more and we come back to neutral. Maybe we put the soles of the feet together, interlace our fingers on the outside of our feet. And we're still in the lower back, and now we've added a bonus in the groin area or the inner thigh. Let's hug the feet in a little bit closer to the body. Maybe raise the pelvis just a little bit. One final few breaths here. And we gently release the feet back onto the ground. Slowly, feeling any sensations in the body. Be mindful of them. We extend our right leg long. Left leg long, right hand on the stomach, left hand on the heart. Enjoy a nice rebound for 1 minute. And gently bring the awareness back to the body. If you have a block or a book, you may take it handy now. This is going to be, again, for the lower back, and in the posture we'll work also into the hip flexors and the quads. These muscles here can cause anterior pelvic tilt. So if these muscles are tight and shortened, they will tilt the pelvis forward. Like this, they will pull the pelvis down and it shortens the muscles in the lower back. And this can cause a lot of strain in the lower back also. So we'll place the soles of the feet on the ground. Block has 3 settings of height: 1, 2, and 3. So if you've never done this before, I recommend you start on the first setting. If you have a book, probably it's only 1 setting. You'll raise your pelvis in the air and you place this under your sacrum, or the flat, thick bone above your tailbone. Both legs will go long, and you'll feel a mild stretch in your hip flexors, your psoas, and on down into the quads. If your hands are above head, you'll have more of a back bend. If your hands are down by your side, you'll feel it more in this area. I usually have the hands down by the side. Today I feel like I want them above the head. Body just tells me that, so I will listen. If your hands are above the head, you'll bring them down to your side. The second part of this pose, we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. And this will increase the stretch a little bit in the hip flexors and also into the quads. Now we're going to open up the right leg a little, letting the right knee fall to the right, creating some distance between the legs. This will work more into the hip flexors and the psoas. Let's let that right knee fall out a little bit more, make an even greater pull, an even deeper stretch onto left quads and hip flexors. You may even feel this in some of your groin muscles. And can you let it fall out a little more to the right for the final couple breaths here? And bringing the right leg back to neutral. Step the right foot on the ground. Take a breath here. We extend the right leg. Step the left foot onto the ground. Draw the left knee in and we hug, interlacing our fingers and placing them over our shin or just below the knee. We hug that left leg into the body. And we let that left leg fall or drop out to the left a little bit, increasing the stretch on the right hip flexor. And let the left leg fall out a little bit more, creating some distance between the legs. And let's let it fall out just a little bit more. Hugging it just a little closer to the body as it falls to the left. Last couple of breaths here. And we're going to bring the knee back to neutral, step the left foot on the ground, bring the right foot up to meet the left. We're going to lift the pelvis off the ground, remove the props, and we set up for a well-deserved Shavasana. I invite you to take Pentacle Pose. You spread your legs far apart, and you send your arms long away from your body, making your body in the shape of a 5-pointed star. It's an opportunity for your entire backside to be grounded, gently reminding you someone or something always has your back, whether you see it or not. May you carry this knowing with you throughout your day, your week, and your year. We all have a support system around us in some facet. Use it. It's there when you need it. If you have low back issues, this is a wonderful, wonderful pose that you can do when you first wake up and right before you rest, is just lay on the hard ground, a flat, hard surface. It causes the lower back to release, and in time, any anterior pelvic tilt will start to diminish, lessening any strain on the lower back. And gently bring the awareness back to the body. Perhaps you make some rolls with your wrists, your rolls with your ankles. Bring the hands up overhead. Bring the feet together. Let's make a nice long stretch. The eyes are still closed. And we roll to one side or the other with the eyes closed, and we make our way up. Into a seated position. The eyes are closed, and we close the practice together. And that smile that you placed upon your face when you were feeling your heartbeat and your lungs moving, is it still there? If not, put it back on your face now. And with that smile on your face, draw your awareness to the body where you had tension before. And notice a lessening in that tension. Notice the release and the overall feeling of the body now compared to when you walked into class. Compared to when you first got on your mat. And let that make your smile on your face even bigger. feeling the sensations of well-being in the body and a big smile on your face, I invite you now to put the biggest smile of your face